When you arrive, you're going to park your car, and then when you've got to the ketch rigger, you're going to leave it to your port and walk around the building and find our offices. So welcome to our new look office. When you come in, your boat paperwork will be all here, so pick up the one that for your boat, and then it'll have all the details inside. The office staff will still be here to help you through with anything. Your new look boat pack. So you're going to, having picked up your boat, it's going to have details of where the boat is located, the marina gate code and the marina Wi-Fi code. There's going to be some details about the yacht here, along with what we would want you to do at the end of your charter. There's a useful information pack or sheet detailing some useful information that you might need during your charter. One of the really key things is our office hours number and the out of hours number, and also sea starts number. Then you've got the actual details of the boat and your handover paperwork. So when you go down to the boat, you just need to make a note of any scuffs or scratches that you can see on the outside of the yacht, and any notes that you have to do with the inside of the yacht, just mark on here. Once you're happy with that, a little signature. Run through the inventory on the boat. The red items are your safety stuff. Once you've been through this, and it does go on to 2 pages, ring the office and our fleet team will come down and talk you through from the pontoon anything else that you need to know. On the return of the charter, make sure that you're here an hour, 90 minutes to an hour before you're due to exit the yacht. There's some reminders in here about how we like the boat left. Let us know if you have refueled. In the joining instructions, there's some details about the new requirements for refueling at MDL, so please do make sure that you follow those. Let us know if you've used the dinghy or if you've changed the gas, and then let us know if you've got any losses, breakages, damages or defects on your yacht. Just pop those in there. We do like to know about any defects so that we can make sure that we can fix them. And then once you're happy with that, a little signature. So when you're coming up to the office, you will we'll also work through all of your paperwork with regard to your security deposit and any additional paperwork that we've asked you to bring. If you need any optional extras, please, we do ask that you've ordered these in advance to make sure that we have them ready for you. Otherwise, and paid for in advance. Otherwise, we can sort those out while you're in the office and make sure that you've got everything and all the paperwork's taken care of.
Okay, so when you finish with Alex in the office, done your paperwork, when you come down to the boat, go on the boat and go to the red Bible first, which will be on the chart table, and make sure you go through all of the inventory to check that everything is there, paying special attention to what's written in red, because that is your safety equipment. Once you're happy with everything, then you can give the office a call and one of us will come down for you to sign the paperwork and to answer any of your questions, or anything you cannot find that's on the inventory we will find for you. So if you've got any questions, then we can answer all your questions and also give you tips on the best way of taking the boat out from the berth. Has a drop down washboard, so the easiest way to get into it is obviously key in, turn it clockwise to unlock, and then when you take the handle, lift just to take the weight, because these are quite heavy, turn clockwise and then lower down. When you want to lock it, it's straight up, that will actually clip in and then anti-clockwise to lock. Hi, my name's Andy. I'm one of the fleet engineers. So when you first come down to your boat, on the chart table will be a red folder. This is what I call the boat Bible. In the folder will be all the information about the boat and all the certificates needed on the boat for charter. So when we first open the book, it will have obviously the boat name, and then obviously the boat notes and ship's papers. On the next page will be the yacht specification, which gives you the yacht name, type of boat it is, year of build, the lengths, drafts, beams, also call signs, MMSI number, cell number, and also importantly the diesel capacity and water capacity, especially if you're doing any long passages. On the next page we have 2 pages which is telling you where all the equipment is you need to know on the boat, as in batteries, engine, how to start, stop, where the shut-off valves are, obviously where the emergency tiller, life raft, how to use the water tanks, the anchor windlass, and also the mainsail, how many reefs it's got, storm jib, and the helm. So all the information about the boat is on these 2 pages. On the next page we have a diagram showing you where all the through hull fittings are, as in head sinks, outlets, toilet inlets, speed transducers, so you know if you get any leaks on the boat, have a look round by where the through hull fittings are or anything like that. On the next page, which is an important one, is one again showing you where all the safety equipment is on board and where it's stowed. Next to that we have another copy of the inventory, but do pay close attention to what's in red, because that is all your safety equipment that is on board, and it tells you exactly where it is. On the next page we start going then through the boat papers. So it's just all the standard builder certificates, schedules, but an important one is your compass deviation card. So if you are doing any long passages, you just need to know the deviations for the compass. Apart from that, it is just all the certificates for all the safety equipment, and shows you that they're all in date and they've all been tested. And when you come down to Amandla Kulu, the batteries should already be switched on, but the battery isolators are located on the floor next to the chart table seat. So if we lift at the floor, you have 2 batteries here, battery keys, engine start battery and domestic battery. So obviously those will already be switched on. But in the event of an engine battery going flat, we have this switch here. So if we switch that on, that will cross connect and link the 2 battery banks together, so you should be able to start your engine. but as soon as the engine is running, then turn that switch to the off position. On the electrical panel, this is all the 12-volt panel. So basically, if we start from the left, we've got that one there is interior lights. This one is bow and stern. This one is anchor light. This one is steaming light. And you notice they all come up on the panel. So from the lights, we go fridge, water pump. This is not used, this one's spare. This is navigational instruments. This one is anchor windlass. This one is electric winches. Now also we've got the tank gauges on here, so we've got up and down. So if we press down, we go to service battery, then it goes to engine battery, then it goes to bow thruster battery, then we got diesel, and then fresh water. There is only one freshwater tank on this boat, and it does hold 450 litres. So there is no changeover valves whatsoever. You have alarms on the panel, and the alarms are low water, low fuel, and low batteries. So at the moment I've just thrown a false alarm in just for this exercise. As you can see, there's no audio buzzer or anything like that. All it is this flashing light. The water is set to go off at 25% or below. The fuel is at 25%, and the batteries are at 11.8 volts. So if any of those drop into those parameters, this flashing light will come on the panel. What will happen then is this here will go to whatever the alarm is. As I've put the service battery in as an alarm, now I cannot scroll through any of the screen. So to get over this, if we press and hold return, then you will get this come up, control panel alarm. Now the light goes out, but now I'm able to scroll through the whole of the screen to see my fuel levels and everything else. With the AC panel on the Amandla Kulu, because she's fitted with air conditioning and also a generator, so on the 240 side we have the off position switch, we have generator, and we have shore. So these need to be switched whatever you're on. So if you're on shore power, it'd be number 1. If you're going to run a generator, it'd be number 2. This is for just the air conditioning. Now we have 2 settings. We have generator and shore 2. Because the air conditioning takes a lot of power, we have 2 separate shore power leads. One for that supplies the boat with electrics, and the other one will supply the air conditioning with electrics. So basically we need to be on shore 1 when we're on shore power, this one over on number 1 for shore power, and then you'll be able to use all of these on this side. I'm going to now run through the generator, because we're going to run on generator because the boat isn't actually alongside a pontoon where I've got shore power. So to run the generator up, we keep these, we switch that one over to gen, we'll keep this one switched off at the moment. So we turn the power on there for the generator. What we do make sure are all of these are switched to the off position. So we don't want to start the generator up with anything on load. So we just press the start button. The generator will start, and it's just settled down. So if we click this one now over to shore power, over to gen, we get the green light come on to tell us we're running on a generator, and then we're up to 240 volts. Now the generator is running, we can start then gradually putting stuff on. So we can switch the battery charger on, and as you can see, the load comes up on there. Obviously we don't want that to get too high. So now the generator's settled and it's running, and it's actually now put the battery charger on to charge the batteries. If we want to use the air conditioning now, we must turn on the seawater pump first, and then we can just turn the power on to each air conditioning unit. So the air conditioning is not going to run because we need to go to where each panel is. So if we look at the panel in the saloon, so with the air conditioning panel, all we do is turn the power on, and then all we need to do is set the temperature we want. These are controlled by the temperature ones, the up and down. So it's a reverse cycle, so it can do heating as well. So all you want to do is set it to the temperature you want the boat to be. So say we want it 20 degrees, we actually set it at 21.6. so what will happen now, that one there shows you the actual air temperature inside the boat, which is 15 degrees. But so what will happen is now the air conditioning will run in reverse cycle mode. So what it would do is actually heat the boat up and go into heater mode. When it's got up to 21 degrees, it will just kick in and kick out as it needs to, keeping the boat at that temperature. You have one of these controls in the port aft cabin and also in the forward cabin, and they're all the same. So obviously on a hot day you want to bring the temperature down, so you can set the temperature to 18 degrees, and all it'll do is put the air conditioning on and bring the temperature down to 18 degrees. So when we need to actually stop the generator does not being stopped or started when there are things switched on. So before you're going to shut the generator down, you need to start taking the load off the generator. So we will turn the air conditioning off. We'll then turn the battery charger off. So now we can, whatever we're using, because we can then start turning these off, and then you will hear the change of the end of the generator. The load will change, that drops down. Now the generator is settled down and it's changed its revs because it's not taking any load. We can then just press the stop button. And there's no lights on or no batteries on. Just on the port side by the companionway is this light, and to switch this light on, if we just press it, that will light up the boat for you then to be able to come down, see what you're doing, and be able to turn the batteries on and anything you want on the electrical panel. This is wired directly to the batteries, so the batteries don't have to be switched on. All these lights, these stick lights, you have them in the cabins as well as in the saloon, but all you need to do to switch them on is touch the end. They will come on white. If you press it again, they go off. If you press it once more, they go red and then off again. So for if you're doing passaging, sailing at night and long passages, you can put all the lights on red, so when you come down you're not going to muck up your night vision. As long as we got interior lights switched on the main electrical panel, we then press the power button, just need to touch it, all the lights come on. So we're just concerned with S1. S1 will switch on all these lighting system. This one here controls the overhead saloon lights. This one here next to it will control the strip lights which run underneath the cupboards and along the handrails. This one here controls the two lights over the galley. And this one here controls the courtesy light. Now you have one red courtesy light underneath the bottom step in the saloon, and then you also have two of these lights, one by each helm position in the cockpit. Now with the lighting system you can dim the lights down, so you cannot dim down the courtesy lights, but the other three you can dim. So if you just press and hold, the lights will start to dim for you. So this one does, like I said, the overhead round lights in the saloon. This one will darken down the strip lights, and this one will darken down the galley lights. So you've got some mood lighting, and then if you press and hold them again, they will go back to being bright. The boat has a Volvo engine, and the engine is all electronic, so you have no engine key to start the engine up from here. So as long as the engine battery isolator is switched on, we can then turn power on with this button. You get Volvo Penta in the screen, and then you'll hear two bleeps. When you've heard those, just momentarily press the start button once and you get the glow plug come on. You leave this on for no more than 7 seconds and just press start to start the engine. To stop the engine, you press and hold the stop button. Don't just press it, press and hold till the engine stops. When the engine has stopped, you can turn the power off. Amandla Kulu's with a slab main for the mainsail. So she has two reefs which are single line reefing. So we just pull them in from the cockpit, no need to go up to the mast whatsoever. The Genoa is a standard Genoa on the furling system. So please, when you're furling the Genoa in, please do not put it onto a winch. If you have problems with the furling system and you cannot pull it in by hand, then there must be a problem. If you can't see what the problem is, drop the Genoa onto the deck, give us a call and we will sort it out or talk to you through it on the phone. Please do not try and winch the Genoa in on a winch because you could cause more damage.